The expansive green forests of Similipal, so known because of the abundance of simli trees, had once captivated Kabibara Radhanath Ray. The eternal lover of nature immortalized the Salamali Salia or Simli Hills in his celebrated poem Usha. Decades have since passed, but Similipal remains what it was in Radhanath's magnum opus: green, fresh, and exquisitely beautiful. The streams cutting through the rocks on these mountains continue to hum the same lilting tunes in perfect consonance with the chirping of birds to create a mesmerizing symphony. Life reverberates in every crevice of the hills with the ethereal chorus of colors, sound, and light. Situated in the center of Mayurbhanj district, Similipal is the biggest reserve forest block in India. The government of Odisha accorded it the status of a tiger reserve on December 31, 2007, assigning 1,194.75 square kilometer of the core area as critical tiger habitat and 1,555.25 square kilometer as a buffer zone, thus making Similipal one of the largest tiger reserve of the country. Along with the fringe transitional area of the foothills, the 5,569 square kilometer area of Similipal landscape was accorded the status of a biosphere reserve under the Man and the Biosphere program of UNESCO on 22nd June 1994. It is one of the 10 Indian biosphere reserves which is part of the World Network of Biosphere Reserve. The Similipal Biosphere Reserve sustains 7% of the country's flowering plants, 8% of its orchids, 12% of reptiles, 29% of birds, and 14% of mammalian species found in the Indian subcontinent. 8 species of plants found here are near extinct, 8 more belong to the endangered category, and 34 are rare species. Among the 96 species of orchids and 1,286 species of plants identified here, Area megasaniensis, Taina hookeriana, Bulbophyllum panigrahium are endemic to Similipal. For getting tender leaves, grasslands are cut in segments at least twice in a year. Uncut portion helps in providing shelter and food seeds to the rodents, birds, and young animals. The grasslands are regularly maintained by doing timely weeding of unpalatable grasses and the invasive weeds. Wherever required, broadcasting with indigenously available grass seeds are done to improve the quality of the grassland. The Similipal Sanctuary is home to 55 species of mammals, 362 species of birds, 62 species of reptiles, and 21 species of amphibians. Among the major carnivorous animals found here, tigers, melanistic or black tigers, leopards, leopard cats, fishing cats, jungle cats, wolves, foxes, and hyenas. The important mammals that inhabit these forests are rattle, civet, jay squirrel, flying squirrel, mongoose, pangolin, rabbit, monkeys, grey langurs, and common langurs. Reptiles such as pythons, banded kraits, king cobras, common cobras, vipers, chameleons and crocodiles, along with numerous species of amphibians, complete the vast animal kingdom in Similipal. With an incredible 304 species, this place is a veritable bird's paradise. Among the most frequently seen birds here are peafowls, jungle fowls, partridges, Malabar pied hornbills, grey hornbills, hill miners, parakeets, crested serpent eagles and orioles. Over 1,300 plant species and 94 species of orchids complement the rich animal life in Similipal. Sal, Bija, Sisu, Asan, Ashoka and Champa are the main tree species seen all over the landscape. Protected areas and tiger reserves in India are generally known for one unique feature, but Similipal is perhaps the only one that has multiple USPs. Semi-evergreen and deciduous forests stretching for miles, expansive meadows stretching from Jenabil, Upper Barhakamuda and Debastali into the horizons, undulating hills, numerous rivers and streams rushing through the serpentine course in the hills, creating an imitable symphony in process. The thunderous sound of the free-flowing waterfall emanating from the top of the steep hills, the intoxicating smell of the wide range of orchids sprouting on the branches of big trees, the shriek of a deer or sambar occasionally piercing through the cacophony of birds merrily chirping all day long, the roar of a tiger or the shriek of foxes momentarily breaking through the constant and fright-inducing hoot of the owl at night. One could hardly ask for more from Mother Nature. Just 17 kilometers from the Kalyani check gate, one of the two entry points of Similipal, lies Gudugudia, the nature lover's favorite spot for its rich pine forest and orchidium. The pine saplings procured from various countries and planted here by the forest department years ago have now grown into giant trees. The orchidium created on the hills close to the pine forest has 94 varieties of orchids. Throughout the year, temperature in the valley falls abnormally low at night, which lends the place the feel of a hill station. Food and accommodation is available for tourists at the ecotourism complex here and at Jamuani of Similipal. Cottages and bamboo machans built at Kumari near Gudgudia also provide boarding and lodging facilities for tourists. Around 16 kilometers from Gudgudia lies the Uski waterfall. 9 kilometers from Uski is the Barehipani waterfall, the second highest waterfall in the country that originates from Similipal mountains and falls 400 meters below. Navana, with its green valley and croplands, is an idyllic place to enjoy in winter. The straight road from here leads to Joranda waterfall. A little distance before the waterfall lies an old bungalow from where one can feel the majestic waterfall and the riparian habitat. The Chahala Valley is about 13 kilometers away from Barehipani. The outer periphery of the Chahala bungalow is covered with giant eucalyptus trees. Parts of the bungalow's front meadow has been converted into a salt lake which draws herbivorous animals in large numbers. As evening sets in, the Chahla Valley reverberates with a cacophony of chatter from myriad animals and birds. Another picturesque location in Similipal is Lulung. Situated on the banks of river Palpala, close to the entrance of the park, the place exudes beauty in every possible color. Situated on the confluence of river Khairi and Bandhan, emerging from Similipal, Ramatirtha is a place of worship for the Hindus due to its mythological importance. It is also a place of picnic with an astral garden and a Magar research center. Cottages and dormitories complete with catering facilities offer accommodation for tourists throughout the year. The entire landscape of Similipal is studded with places of tourist interest carved by nature. Apart from these spots, Similipal offers many more locations where nature can be enjoyed to the fullest. Places like Jamuani, Brundaban, Manchabanda, Samibriksha, Bhimkund and Sitakund are spots that every nature enthusiast would love to explore. All these spots are well connected with motorable roads with provision for night halt, catering and trekking on forest trails. Similipal was once famous for its tigress, Khairi. In 1974, few tribals residing in the villages inside the sanctuary rescued a 2-month-old tiger cub from the banks of river Khairi. The tribals handed over the cub to Saroj Raj Chowdhury, the first field director of Similipal Project Tiger, who fostered the tigress and named her Khairi. The whole world was interested in the deep intimacy between the domesticated tigress and its master. For the first time in the history of royal cats, a tigress from the wild was grown successfully in captivity till her death in 1981. Throughout the year, the Similipal Tiger Reserve is busy with countless visitors and nature lovers. All spots of the landscape, apart from the Tiger Reserve, are open to visitors around the year. But excursionists are allowed to witness the Tiger Reserve only from November to June. To enter Similipal Tiger Reserve, visitors need to have a permit, which is issued at the entry gates between 6 am to 9 am every morning. Reservations for accommodation and food in tourist cottages at Ramatirtha, Gudugudia, Kumari and Jamuani can be booked online at www.ecotourodisha.com. Starting from the coastal plain and rising up to 1,168 meters above the mean sea level, Similipal's varying altitudes create a unique microclimate which provides a varied experience of a frosty winter, a cool, pleasant summer and heavy rainfall. With its green valleys, wooded gorges, majestic waterfalls and unique and rich flora and fauna biodiversity, the beautiful landscape of Similipal feels like a whole new world for tourists, artists, poets, thinkers and nature lovers. The roar of the tiger, the trumpeting of the elephants, the chirping of the birds, the murmur of the streams, the calm and quietude of the gorges, everything here forms stanzas of a beautiful song that echoes an ethereal melody of life, alive in its purest form.